Here we go. Creativity is the difference between a butter knife and a steak knife. Creativity is the difference between Coke and a Pepsi. Creativity is the difference between an Android and an iPhone. The difference is razor thin, but it is enough to make you choose one over the other. And in a world where there's so much competition to sell the exact same thing, you need to be able to be creative enough to be the choice maker, to be the decision that someone takes. And so today what I'm going to speak on is creative marketing. 7 rules that you need to think of when you start your marketing plan. Now, I'm an excellent teacher, so I'm going to drill these 7 rules in your head. If you forget anything today, you will only remember these 7 rules. Are we ready? All right. Before we go to the 7 rules, there are 3 questions that are in your head right now. And if I know my audience, as I think I do, I know the 3 questions you are asking. The first question you are asking is, who is he and why is he speaking? Well, my name is Jantjies. I'm a fantasy author, I'm a book coach, and I'm a creativity specialist. I create my own books, I help people create their books, and I help you to turn your products into something that is a bit more creative. That's the first question. The second question that is on your mind is he single? Yes, he is. Look, we are at a marketing conference, and I'm on the market. And if you are on the market, you should be marketing. And that is rule number 1. If you are on the market, you should be marketing. Can we all repeat that? Can we all repeat that? If you are on the market, you should be marketing. Write that rule down. It's very important. I don't care how good your product is. If you are not telling people, this is my product, this is the solution it offers, this is how much it costs, this is what I can do for you, no one is going to buy. So if you are on the market, you must be marketing. The third question that you are wondering is, why does he have a sword? Now I want you to look at this. Oh, it's beautiful. And the reason why I have a sword today is very simple. I wanted your attention. As soon as I walked up with the sword, people were staring, they looked up from their phones, they took notice of what I was doing. That is rule number 2. Grab attention with a hook. There are 10 amazing speakers today, a lot of competition, and I need to find a way to stand out, a way to slice through the noise. So I brought my sword, and whenever you plan your marketing, you need to make sure you grab the attention with a hook. So, rule number 2, can we all say it together? Grab attention with a hook. Rule number 1 is, if you are on the market, you should be marketing. Rule number 2, grab attention with a hook. I'm going to put this down before I hurt someone. Now, look at this picture. Please do not judge me based on what you are seeing. I do not look like that anymore. That was 2015, not so long ago. I was rocking an afro, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to get all the girls with this. I can't believe they let me walk around like that. But that's a very ugly picture. And what I did lately was, I decided, let me use this picture as a hook. Because the best hooks are things that are out of the ordinary. It's the same reason why when you're scrolling and you see a beautiful girl on the timeline, you stop staring because this is out of the ordinary. So I don't have beautiful pictures, so I had an ugly picture. And I used this as a hook with a story that I was telling, and that video got views. That's what I talk about when I mean you need a hook. Something that is out of the ordinary that people don't often see. Because you must understand that your content only matters to the people who are looking for it. There's a lot of people in this room. Some of you guys do not care what I have to say. Some of you do, but you don't yet know it. So the only way I can make sure that you know it is by grabbing your attention as early as possible. There are different hooks that you can use. And I want to share one that really stood out to me. There's a lady on TikTok who all she does is she tells stories, but as she's telling stories, she's knitting. And that works in 3 ways. Number one, she's telling a story. And he spoke about stories earlier. Stories are an excellent way to keep people going. Number 2, her hands are moving, so it grabs your attention. And number 3, it promises an outcome. You are wondering, is it going to be a sock? Is it going to be a scarf? Is it going to be a sweater? So you watch till the end to see what you get. That's a perfect example of a hook. I have this hook idea that I want to use, and you can steal it, because I don't like wasting sugar. I want to talk, and as I'm talking, I'm making coffee. And I'm putting sugar into the cup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, until the video is done. And that works in 4 ways. Number 1, there's storytelling. Number 2, there's my hands are moving. Number 3, you wondering how much sugar is he going to put in. And number 4, it brings hate comments. And hate comments is the best thing to have in a video. I have a video that is 100,000 views full of hate comments. And that's what we love. We love hate comments because they bring views. So make sure when you are creating your marketing plan, you have a hook. Rule number 1 was? Good. If you are on the market, you should be marketing. Rule number 2? Grab attention with a hook. And rule number 3 is utilize all forms of content. These hooks work best with what I call short form content. So we're going to go to the 3 forms of content. There are 3 forms of content: short form, long form, and super long form. Short form content is your shorts, your reels, your 3-page blueprint, your LinkedIn post, anything that can be consumed within 5 minutes or less. That is short form content. And in short form content, you never sell. Because short form content is only trying to gather an audience. That is all it is trying to do. And 50% of the content you put out should be short form. So these kind of content you put out as often as you can. Long form content, these are your tutorial videos. These are a short story. This is a string of emails. Anything that can be consumed within 1 hour, even a blog post, if it can be consumed in less than an hour, this is long form. And long form, again, you do not sell, but it can be monetized. For example, I'm a professional speaker. I don't sell 25-minute talks, but I can monetize 25-minute talks. I can get paid for a 25-minute talk, but it is not what, when I speak to you, I'm not telling you, listen, hire me for 25 minutes. I'm telling you, I've got a 4-hour workshop teaching you how to be creative, and that's what you hire me for. But if you want, I can go 25 minutes. So you think of what it is that you do and have something shorter, that's your long form. And then finally, your super long form, which is anything that is above 1 hour. If you have a coaching series that you offer, if you have a service that you offer where the benefit carries on for over an hour. So maybe it takes 15 minutes to set up, but it works for them for years to come. That is super long form. That is what you are selling. And that's only 20% of the content that you need to put out. Short form gathers an audience. Long form turns strangers into followers. And super long form turns followers into fans. And fans is what you want, because fans will buy the same thing from you over and over and over. I write books and I sell books. I can sell my fans an ebook. Then I can sell them the paperback of that same book. I can sell them the hard copy of that same book. And then I can sell them any talk that I do, because they're fans of what I do. And if you can turn people to fans, then I guarantee you, you are going to make money. We all have that. Rule number 1 was, if you are in the market, you should be marketing. Rule number 2, grab attention with a hook. Rule number 3, utilize all forms of content. Now, there are 3 important things that you need to focus on when you think of sales. It is your product creative enough? Your product or your service that is offering, is it creative enough? Number 2, how can I boost my sales in the short term? And number 3, how can I generate sales in the long term? Those are 3 things you need to be thinking of when you do your marketing plan. I am not going to spend a lot of time on creative products because I have an entire workshop dedicated to that. But I will leave you with rule number 4, which is great products are easier to market. Can we repeat? Great products are easier to market. If you have a terrible product, it's going to be very difficult to set up a marketing plan. So you need great products. Now, I'm not going to spend time on this, but I do have something free to give you at the end, so just stay for that. I want to focus on this, because this just excited me when I was planning. Boosting short-term sales. Especially if you've just launched a product or your business just started, you need to find a way. How do you boost your sales in the short term? And there's a lot of different ways, but I'm going to only focus on one. I can give you at least 7 off the top of my head. I'm going to focus on one because I'm a teacher and I need to make sure I drill it in your head. You need to focus on this one. Before we get to it, rule number 5. He who controls the audience controls the money. Can we repeat? He who controls the audience controls the money. Rule number 1 was, if you are marketing, if you're on the market, you should be marketing. Rule number 2, grab attention with a hook. Rule number 3, utilize all forms of content. Rule number 4, great products are easier to market. And rule number 5, he who controls the audience controls the money. The difficult part of selling is that you don't have an audience, especially if you just started your business. There's no audience. I had such a shock when I released my first book because I was small-minded. I thought, I'm from the Cape Flats. People always talk about support local. So I published my book and I expected people to support local. Nobody bought my book. No one bought it because I didn't build the audience first. And this is what I love about influencers. Because most people, what they did was, they started a product, and then they started looking for an audience. What influencers did was, they first built an audience, and then they got a product to sell. And they can sell that audience anything. They can sell them shoes, clothes, drinks, whatever it is that they want. If an influencer writes a book, I can guarantee you that person is going to be a bestseller. Not because the book is great, but because they have people to buy it. And that's why my favorite form of short-term sales is influencer marketing. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love influencer marketing. Because let me explain how this works. We use the power of free. I love free things, and I know you love free things. I will sell my liver for a free burger. The things I will do for free things is incredible. And if you have an influencer marketing program, all you need to do is give them free stuff. And the best example of this is, there's a guy who creates slime. You know slime that the kids play with? He creates slime. And he messages Kim Kardashian, 100 million followers on Instagram, and says, hey, I know your kids love slime. Would you like some free slime? She sees the message only a few months later. But eventually she replies and she says, hey, I'd love slime. You can send it to this address. And he sends her buckets of slime. People love free stuff. He sends her buckets of slime. She posts a video on a status of her kids playing with the slime and tags him. He says in that 1 month, he made more sales than he did in the last 5 years combined. Simply because he didn't have the audience, but he found someone who does. And the best way, especially if you just started your business, find someone who has the audience you are looking for, give them a free experience of your product and let them post it. You will get sales just like that. I love Vusi Tembakwayo. You guys know Vusi Tembakwayo? He's my goat of public speaking. I love Vusi. When Vusi says, I'm reading this book, I think it's amazing that I go and buy that book because Vusi said it. And it's the same thing if you find an influencer who has your audience, all you need to do is offer that person free stuff and make sure it's valuable free stuff you are giving them. Free stuff. And I guarantee you, you're going to get sales from that. I love influencer marketing. Because with influencer marketing, I don't have to run ads. I've run ads before. And I have reviews on my ads. But what does Sally care if John said he likes my product? Sally doesn't know John, so she doesn't trust him. But she trusts Kim Kardashian. And that's what works. So, rule number 1, if you are on the market, you should be marketing. Rule number 2, grab attention with a hook. Rule number 3, utilize all forms of content. Rule number 4, great products are easier to market. And rule number 5, beautiful. These are excellent students. Now, I say that because I used to be a high school teacher in Hanover Park nogals. Anyway, so he who controls the audience controls the money. Now, you've just done your influencer marketing campaign and you get a stream of new faces buying your stuff and wanting your stuff and following your page. How do you take that and generate a long-term sales marketing plan? There are many different ways to do this. I'm only going to focus on my favorite way. I think I have like 5 or 7 minutes left. The only thing better than selling your product is to sell it again. Oh my gosh, I like it when somebody buys my book 1 of my series, and I see they buy book 2, and then they buy book 3, and they buy book 4, and 5, and 6, and 7. If you can make them come back, then you know you did a good job. That's when you know you did a good job. And that brings us to rule number 6, which is get them to come back for more. When you plan your marketing campaign, you need to make sure that in your plan, you have a way to get them to come back for more. Before you run your influencer marketing campaign, you need to make sure that when it hits, you have a way to grab that audience and keep them forever. So can we all repeat rule number 6? Get them to come back for more. Now, there are many ways to do this. I'm going to give you my personal favorite, which is email marketing. Oh, I love email marketing because I hate having to consistently make content. What I do, if you sign up to my mailing list right now, for the next 6 months, you will be getting automated emails from me that I have planned out and structured. So I'll wake up one day and see, oh, there's a book sale. Oh, there's another sale. And I didn't have to type out the email. Because what I did was I sat for 2 weeks working on mind maps, figuring what to write first, what to write second, creating a story with the emails that I'm going to send. I made sure in the first 5 emails, I'm not selling you anything. I'm just giving you free stuff because I need to show you that I give value. And then when email number 6 hits, I get a sale. That's what we call email marketing, automated. It is on autopilot. I love things that can run on autopilot. If you do not have an email marketing system, I suggest you get one immediately because this will generate sales. So you need to make sure you have a system that can gather contacts and then send out automated emails. If you buy one of my books and you look in the very first few pages, there's a graphic that says, hey, if you like this book, I have another free one for you. All you need to do is give me your email address. That's a very simple way to get new contacts, to make sure I sell them my other books. You need to find a way to grab attention, get those contacts, and then sell them again and again and again and again. So I want to go to the most important creative rule. But first we do a recap. Rule number 1. If you are on the market, you should be marketing. Rule number 2, grab attention with a hook. Rule number 3, utilize all forms of content. Rule number 4, great products are easier to market. Rule number 5, he who controls the audience controls the money. I love that one. Rule number 6, get them to come back for more. And the most important creative rule, rule number 7, is creativity comes with failure. It took me 7 years to get my first book published. I wrote one book and I got rejected by the publishers. And I wrote another book and I got rejected by the publishers. And I wrote a third book and I got rejected by the publishers. And finally, after 7 long years and 4 books, I got my first publisher. Now I have 16 books. I'm working on book number 17, and I can guarantee you, book number 17 is better than all the others, because creativity comes with failure. If you are not willing to try and fail, and try and fail, and try and fail, you will never be more creative. One thing I tell people when I teach them how to be more creative is you need to learn to experience new things. And new things come with failure. Sometimes when you go to a restaurant and you try, okay, I'm going to try something new off the menu, and it's terrible. And you think, oh my gosh, I just wasted all this money. It's fine. You got a new experience. You are now more creative than you were when you got in there. Experiences breed creativity, and creativity always comes with failure. Now, before I end off, I promised I would give you something free. And what I've got here is a discount code. So all you do is you scan there, and you'll get a free discount code. And what I do in this is, it is for you going to fill out a form, and all it will do is, it will give you a workshop. A workshop where I teach you how to be more creative. We figure out your products, your services. How do you make your products and your services more creative? If there's 80 people selling the same thing that you're selling, how do you make your product stand out? How do you make your service stand out? Then we focus on your short-term creative sales plan. And then we focus on how do you generate long-term sales for that product. I hope you enjoyed the session. My name is Jantjies. Thank you.